Hi everyone, this is Nikita here, and in today's video I am making a scrapbook page for Lulupu's challenge number 17, Fancy Me. In this challenge we have to make a project that showcases a style that we fancy the most, something we are most comfortable with, and feature a technique that we fancy. So for this page I have used some of my favorite techniques like stitching, fussy cutting, die cutting, and you'll be able to see my love for washi tapes. So let's get started. As you can see, I'm starting with stitching. I'm using a So Easy stitch piercer head to pierce holes into the paper. I'll be placing a mouse pad underneath the paper to allow it to absorb the piercings. And to align the tool, I'm using a steel ruler that will ensure that the tool runs straight. I plan to stitch only on the edges of the page, so I'm doing that first. For the base, I'm using a 12 by 12 sheet from Die Cuts with the Views Mixed Media Mambi collection, and this has the most gorgeous papers. The mixed media effect ensures that even though the papers are almost plain, giving you a lot of room to add more colors, layers and embellishments without cluttering the page, it is still not completely plain, and I love that. Now I'm using the So Easy Fancy Floss in tertiary colors, and that has a color combo that matches almost perfectly with the paper, so I'm going to go with that and simply stitch along the pattern created by the So Easy tool. Did you know that you could store your needle right inside the body of the So Easy tool? So cool, right? Anyway, now to reduce the bulk on the page, instead of tying a knot at the end of the thread, I am adhering it to the paper directly with a washi tape because I want it to look slightly fancy. Uh, you can also use scotch tape, and this way it kind of leaves the end smoother than a knot would. After that, I am simply continuing stitching. It took me a while to figure out how to go from one of the piercings to the other to follow a pattern without messing up on the other side, but I got it eventually. And so I'm going to continue to do that till I'm done with the entire pierced pattern. When I'm done with stitching, I'm going to adhere the thread down once again with washi tape. And it would be better to adhere the tape first and then cut the thread. That makes it very easy to adhere it down. For the title of the page, I'm using Thickers. For the first word, I'm using Foz Fonts by Kaisercraft. Now for this, I'm using a trick that I saw in one of the Garden Girl videos by Two Peas in a Bucket, and this was just when I was starting out with crafting. What I'm going to do is, instead of adhering the stickers directly on the page, I'm going to adhere the bottom end of the thickers on a plastic or acetate sheet. When I'm doing this, I'll make sure that only the edge sticks on the plastic, not the entire word. Adhering the edge of the letters on the plastic sheet allows you to move the letters around the page and decide where you want to stick it. And once you've decided, press the letters so that they stick on the paper and then gently pull the plastic from underneath. Now this one is giving me a little bit of trouble, but you will see how the next one comes off smoothly. You can use this exact same trick for stickers as well. I'm going to do the same thing for the next word. For the second word, I'm using American Crafts foam thickers in Daiquiri green, and I'm using the plastic cover in which the thickers were stored to arrange my letters. I'm doing this directly on my table, but if you have a cutting mat that has those grid lines, you can use that, align the plastic sheet and the words using the grid lines to ensure that it is straight, because sometimes you can place one alphabet higher than the other and the alignment within the word can be kind of messed up, so that will help you with that. You can see that now that I'm done with the word, I am placing the word on the paper to see where it fits best. And once I've decided on a place, I've pressed it down and pulled the plastic sheet from underneath, which comes off almost completely easily this time. And that's done. Now I'm moving on to die cutting. Since this page is the cover page for a particular scrapbook, I wanted to use a bicycle on the cover to symbolize the journey of the couple together, and I'm using Memory Box's brand new bicycle die. Now I want the bicycle to be colorful, so I'm going to cut out this particular die a number of times, once in white, then in brown, and then in a few more colors. While I was doing the die cutting, I did not realize that the basket and the light on the bicycle are separate pieces and they can be detached. So here you can see me cutting it out in white as well as brown, but I will separate it later and use only those pieces to cut out the basket, the light, and the seat as well in different colors. As I wanted the seat to be in a separate color as well, I'm using only the edge of the die since I cannot detach that part from the die completely. This page also has a tagline, and for that I'm using Memory Box's classic lowercase alphabet dies. So I'm picking out the alphabets that I need and I'm arranging them on brown cardstock. Now, because the tripod was in between, it was resulting in the C plate shifting because it kept slipping from my hand and the dies literally went out of the cardstock. So I had to add washi tape over them to keep the dies in place, that is over the cardstock and not off that. What you're seeing in video is my fifth try to get the whole thing through the Cuttlebug. When you don't have a tripod in the way, you can cut these dies like any other die, that is without washi tape. The best part about dies is that you will never run out of alphabets. You may face that problem with thickers but not with dies. Also with dies, what you can do is create alphabets with various colors and even with pattern papers. So I think they are a tad bit better than thickers. Now I'm going to put everything together. I made a sketch in the beginning and I'm working off that. I'm going to start with a doily, and if you notice, I'm adding glue only in the center. Scrapbooking is all about adding multiple layers, and to make that easier, it is best to never glue anything down completely. Which means if the edges are free, I can slide something underneath later. Also, a completely glued down piece will give it a very flat look, and even though that kind of look suits cards, in my opinion it doesn't go so well with the scrapbook page. As you can see, I'm applying glue on a tiny die cut piece in the shape of a cloud, and had I adhered the photo completely, I wouldn't have been able to slide the little die cut cloud underneath it. Now I'm going to make washi tape banners. I have picked out a few that go with the color of the base as well as the colors on the picture. So we have some yellows, reds, greens and gold, even one multicolored washi tape and a floral washi tape. Now because I wanted these banners to have a clean cut, I didn't tear them off. I'm cutting them out using scissors and I'm making various rectangular pieces. Once I have cut out a rectangular piece from each one of those washi tape designs, I'm going to cut the edges of the washi tape to form a V. Once I have the banners ready, I am going to take a piece of twine and place each banner on it, carefully folding it over to the other side. I don't need more adhesive because the amount already present on the washi tape is going to be enough. So I'm going to add each of those banners one beside the other, and when I have completed the banner, I'm going to carefully place it across the photo where I feel it looks the best, and then I will trim the edges of the twine. Now I'm going to make the colorful bicycle. I want the bicycle to have white wheels and a brown body. So I'm pushing out the extra parts from the white wheel and I'm cutting the wheel out. Since I want the body of the bicycle to be brown, I am not bothering to push out the extra pieces from the brown wheels, but I'm cutting out the extra part. I'm cutting out the wheels because I don't need them any longer. And now I'm going to assemble this directly on the page. I'm using a tweezer to hold the pieces as they are really thin and delicate, and I'm using my fine tip glue applicator to apply glue on those tiny little pieces. Then it's just a matter of adding one piece after another based on how I want the colors to be assembled, and voila, we'll have the bicycle ready. There, that's the colorful bicycle all ready. and it looks so much better than the simple white colored one that I've used here. Here I am adding some more die cuts. The larger one came in my DT kit long back and I hadn't gotten the opportunity to use it yet, whereas the two smaller ones are from Kaisercraft's Hopscotch die cuts. I am distressing the edges of the larger die cut with tea-dye distress ink to make it match slightly with the browns on the page. You'll see now what I meant about not gluing everything down completely. Because the photo was not adhered completely, I could easily slide the larger piece of die cut under the photo without damaging the photo. I am now adhering the die cut alphabets to make the tagline. I am using my tweezers and the fine tip glue bottle to help me put them in the right place. I wanted to say together and forever, and instead of the alphabet O, I am going to stamp two cute little hearts. I am using the Hearts to Die For stamp set from the Stamps of Life, and I am going to stamp the little heart in Memento's Ladybug ink. For the ampersand, I am using thickers again. This one is from Amy Tangerine and American Crafts Journal Thickers. For other embellishments, I cut off butterflies from different pattern papers. The larger ones are from this sheet from Jilly Bean Soup's Blossom paper pad, and the smaller ones are from this sheet from my Mind's Eye's Miss Caroline Dolled Up paper pad. I'm distressing these butterflies with tea-dye distress ink as well, just to maintain the brownish theme that's going on this page. After I'm done distressing, I'm going to adhere these butterflies randomly as I see fit. And lastly, I'm going to add a Bo Bunny sticker that says, "These are the days you will remember." And a chipboard piece that says "Adorable" from the My Mind's Eye Nostalgia collection, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another video. Till then, bye bye.